Lay down the weapons no one sees you carrying. This moment is for the warrior who is tired of war. You passed the test. You walked through the fire of betrayal. You endured the silence when you had every reason to explode. You remained standing where anyone else would have crumbled. The world saw you at your limit, and the enemy thought your exhaustion would be your end. They understood nothing. This morning, heaven recalculated the route of your life, and I need to tell you exactly why the phase of surviving and fighting has just been closed in the divine court. You did not arrive here because of an algorithm. You arrived because you were marked to arrive. This is divine alignment, and what you survived was not meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you for this exact moment. Your mind replays the same conversation at 3 in the morning. Your body trembles in situations that shouldn't make it tremble anymore. The money that comes in and vanishes without a trace. The feeling of wearing armor you can't take off. The question that never stops: why them and not me? And the innocent question from a child that hurts because you have no answer. There is one thing I am going to place in your hands before this message closes. Something that Solomon left on record for the child of God who needs to navigate subtle sabotage, silent envy, and that fits in your pocket. It is not a book to study. It is an instrument to bear the weight of what you carry. I will return to this. For now, hold that thought. The exhaustion of maintaining composure while inside, the war consumes everything. The loneliness of being the only one who seems to see the truth. The frustration of seeing others who play dirty get ahead. And on this very topic, about the silence at the dinner table, about the phone that rings with that name on the screen, I have already left the instrument waiting for you in the first pinned comment. If you need to leave before the end, it is there. But stay, because the Hebrew name for what is happening to you has not yet been spoken. Have you ever felt that this silent confidence of yours is not just a character trait, but a spiritual weapon that draws fire? What if this pattern of attacks you suffer is not a sign of your weakness, but a sign that there is a battle against the purpose God has placed on your life? It was in searching for answers to this that I found this digital guide called the Solomon Code. This guide is not just a reading, it is a key to spiritual understanding, a tool made for those who wish to see beyond appearances, to stop treating subtle persecution as a simple ailment, and to understand why the entire matrix rises with such force against those who carry a mark of God. Several chosen ones on this channel have already felt the call of the code, but have not yet made the decision to download the digital guide. Download it right now. It is available in the first pinned comment. If you are one of the first to download it, come back here and write Amen. This will be your act of faith, and this very day, God may show you the reason why the matrix has risen against your life. There are 5 signs that your silent confidence is, in fact, a spiritual battlefield. The first is the involuntary vigil. You wake up between 3 and 4 a.m. with your mind racing, replaying conversations, planning defenses. What seems like insomnia is actually your spirit detecting enemy activity on the perimeter. The second is the sacred diversion. People open up to you, tell you secrets, ask for advice, even if they don't know you well. What seems like a social burden is actually your calling to be a safe harbor in the midst of others' storms. The third is the silent altar of the family. In arguments, you are the one who yields, who apologizes first, not because you are wrong, but to keep the peace. What seems like submission is actually you acting as the priest of your home, sacrificing your pride to protect unity. And about that scene, your child's question on a Sunday night, the heavy silence in the room, I have already left the instrument waiting for you in the first pinned comment. If you need to leave before the end, it is there. But stay, because the Hebrew name for what is happening to you has not yet been spoken. The fourth sign is unexplainable peace. In the midst of chaos, when everyone expects you to fall apart, a supernatural calm comes over you. What seems like emotional detachment is the hand of God holding your heart. The fifth sign is the loneliness of the giver. You give, advise, support, but rarely feel entitled to ask for the same in return. What seems like self-sufficiency is the mark of the chosen one who has learned to drink from a spring that others do not see. The tool you can apply today is called the prayer of surrendering the cause, based on Psalm 37, verses 5 to 7. The ESV says, "Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will act. He will bring forth your righteousness as the light and your justice as the noonday." The protocol is simple. First, write down the cause, the person's name, the situation on a piece of paper. Second, declare out loud, "Father, I surrender this cause to you. From now on, the battle is yours." Third, burn the paper as a prophetic act that you will not take this burden back. And if you are feeling right now that this is exactly what you need, even before I continue, place your thumb now over the link in the first pinned comment. Don't click yet, just place your thumb. Feel the weight of the decision before you make it. This guide is not a method to do more. It is an instrument to endure more. It does not train you, it covers you. And the next difficult conversation where your silence will be tested is coming sooner than you think. And it comes with 2 seals for your home, not for your performance. The first seal is the ritual of the righteous sleep. It is an audio. You do not read. You lie down. And what you used to call insomnia, today you will call an unsealed vigil. And you will learn to seal the night with the right name, in the right order, with the right voice. The second seal is the awakening of clarity, the 7 morning decrees. 7 short sentences, 1 for each morning of the week, so that you no longer wake up without an identity, so that you go through the first hour of the day with the posture of one who has been sent, not one who has been run over. You have a 7-day unconditional guarantee to use it and feel it, 7 full days. If in 7 days the instrument has not touched what it needed to touch in you, if clarity has not come, you send an email and get your money back. No questions, no justifications. And the 2 seals, the ritual and the decrees, remain with you even if you return the guide. They are yours, without condition. But I need to be direct with you. The real risk is not spending less than 2 coffees. The real risk is the next difficult conversation arriving, and you are still empty-handed. That is the risk that has a face, and it is about that face that I need to talk to you now. And maybe you are asking yourself now, but isn't my silence allowing evil to win? The answer is no. Your confident silence in God is the weapon that exposes evil without becoming contaminated by it. Or, how do I know if it's God asking me to be quiet and not just my fear of confrontation? You know by the peace that surpasses all understanding, even in the midst of war. Fear does not bring peace. Or even, I am exhausted of being the mature one. Until when? until the day your maturity becomes your fortress and no longer your burden. The guide speeds up that day. A 45-year-old mother, dealing with subtle parental alienation, started using the guide. In the first week of using the ritual of the righteous sleep, she slept through the night for the first time in years. The sentence she sent me was, "I realized I was trying to fight a war that wasn't mine." A 32-year-old project manager, being sabotaged by a colleague, used the decrees from the Awakening of Clarity. He wrote to me, "I stopped feeling the need to defend myself. My peace became my best defense." A 68-year-old grandmother, staying silent to keep peace in a divided family, told me, "The guide taught me that silence is not the absence of words, but the presence of God. Maybe in 3 hours, you will be lying in bed again, your mind replaying what you should have said, remembering that you saw this video and still did not reach out. Maybe at the next family gathering, the silence will become heavy and you will feel alone again. Maybe on the next call from that person, you will feel the same energy being drained, and the consequence keeps coming with the same alarm clock, the same coffee, the same door opening. The link is in the first pinned comment. Pinned for you, not for everyone, for you who need to get through the next difficult conversation with the instrument in hand. Click now. And when you do, when you open that link, you are not buying a book. You are accepting an instrument that Solomon prepared for your ordinary day. And what you will understand next when you hear the Hebrew word that is coming now will change the way you read everything that has happened until now. The Hebrew word that exactly defines what is happening to you is dumam. Pronounce it with me in a low voice wherever you are. Dumam. Dumam means silence, quietness, but it is not an empty silence. It is a silence of confident waiting on God, as in Psalm 62. It is the posture of one who knows the battle is not theirs. It is an active silence, a spiritual weapon. It is not just a dictionary translation. It is a word that describes a state, a posture, a calling. And when you hear this word, something inside you calms down because it was already happening inside you. You just didn't have a name for it. And about this word, it is written in Psalm 4, verse 8, "In peace I will both lie down and sleep. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety." It is not a promise for the future. It is a declaration of state. David in the wilderness, fleeing from Saul. He had Saul in his hands, in the cave. He could have ended the war right there, but he chose the silence of the sword. The instrument he used was restraint, the trust that God would vindicate him at the right time. The operation of that instrument in his ordinary day was to dodge Saul's spear attacks. It was to compose psalms instead of revenge plans. The turning point came when Saul was forced to admit, "You are more righteous than I." And what David had to improvise in the cave, you can now do with a guide in hand. The instrument that Solomon left on record is the same one waiting for you in the first pinned comment. Let me stop for a full minute and put everything you have just heard into simple words. Fact 1. There is a spirit that attacks your silent confidence because it knows it is power. Fact 2. It does this by provoking you to break your silence, to stoop to the level of the fight. Fact 3. David was the target of this same attack, and his victory came from not retaliating. Fact 4. Your hesitation to take up the right weapons, which you call prudence, is exactly what that spirit needs to convince you to give up in the next difficult conversation. There are 3 types of callings being tested right now. You are one of these 3. The first is the guardian of silence, the one who absorbs the blow without striking back. The adversary attacks him with the accusation of being weak. The second is the bearer of peace, whose presence calms storms. The adversary attacks him by draining his energy. The third is the mirror of conscience, whose righteous behavior exposes the injustice of others without a word. The adversary attacks him with smear campaigns. Regarding your type, heaven has already sealed 3 names. The first name is Silent Fortress, the one who is unshakable within. The instrument of Solomon teaches you to build this fortress. The second name is Ambassador of Calm, the one who represents a kingdom of peace in enemy territory. The third name is Invisible Main Beam, which supports the structure without making a sound. If one of these 3 names resonated more strongly with you, write the number below in the comments. 1, 2, or 3. This is your first act of taking possession of your identity. For each name, the adversary has a tactic. For the Silent Fortress, the tactic is isolation. For the Ambassador of Calm, the tactic is exhaustion. For the Invisible Main Beam, the tactic is painful anonymity. And these 3 weapons alone are a memory. With an instrument, they become a covering. To recognize the cycle without having the instrument that Solomon left is to receive the diagnosis without the treatment. And furthermore, there are 4 portals beyond these 3 that I cannot open here. The guide delivers them. But before I release you, there is one last point: the fear of seeming ungrateful, the fear that, by accepting an instrument, you are telling God that what He has already done was not enough. It is false piety. It is pride dressed as humility. To accept the instrument is not to doubt the strength, but to honor the general's strategy. Now, I want you to close your eyes, place your right hand on your chest, and repeat with me in a low voice, "Father, I surrender the weariness. I release you from the fear of seeming ungrateful. My urgency is my gratitude. And I now receive the 3 names that have been sealed upon me: Silent Fortress, Ambassador of Calm, Invisible Main Beam. For me to remember, for me to get through what is coming. And before the next voice comes, I need you to hear something. The intensity of what you have been through is not proof that something is wrong with you. It is proof that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. If this resonates with you now, write below, "I receive the turning point." And now, the Father's voice. Listen. Son, daughter, I saw you. I saw you in that difficult conversation. I never lost sight of you. Your name is engraved on the palms of my hands. The chair is yours. You have permission to receive what you have not earned. You have permission to occupy the chair at the table without justifying it. You have permission to let the version of you that needed to suffer, to feel worthy, die. Solomon prepared this instrument for those who are tired, and the one who is tired is you now. I now extend my hand towards your home and decree a covering of sealing over all that belongs to you, over your table, over your children, over your work. You are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent. You are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent. You are committed, you are commissioned, you are sent. Before I release you, walk with me. There is a long, dark wooden table. There is an empty chair near the head of the table. Your shape is carved into it. Solomon is at the head, and he nods as if to say, "We were waiting for you." You are not creating this scene. You are remembering it. The chair has always been yours, only you were missing. Do not say Amen yet. Sit with that for a moment. Now you can say Amen. The Solomon Code is waiting for you in the first pinned comment with the ritual of sleep and the 7 morning decrees for less than 2 coffees. Because a silent fortress without covering rots in the next difficult conversation, and the adversary is counting on the next conversation. It is not an expense, it is an instrument. With a 7-day guarantee, the risk is ours, the hand is yours. Click now, while the decree is still alive in your chest. Not tomorrow, because whoever leaves it for later leaves it forever. In the next 3 hours, it will speak within you. See, you have to pay even to have peace. Save that money. Deal with it tomorrow. You are too tired today. This is for more spiritual people. Your problem is just stress. You don't deserve this peace. Remember what you did last week. You are strong enough. You don't need help. 5 waves. It tries from 5 angles. On one, you give in. Today, now, before the next conversation, not later, today, and Solomon will sustain you. Think of one specific person who needs the same sealing you have just received. Send them this video. If you have made it through this entire video, comment below, Amen received, and send this video to that person. It is done. You are not the same person you were when you pressed play. You are deeply loved. You have never been forgotten. The chair is yours, and so it is sealed. The next difficult conversation can wait 10 more seconds. May the wisdom from above be your ground today. May your soul find rest until our next meeting.